Welcome to Gatekeeper Media's coverage of the 2023 Open at Austin. This is our Round 2 MPO Front 9 on the chase card. And I'm Andrew Fish, joined here by Nathan Queen.
Yeah, here at Harvey Penick Park in Austin, Texas, as you said. And it's the same course today, but going to be quite drastic change in conditions here. So wide open for some more scoring spread today.
Yeah, as a generality, scoring about 4 strokes easier than yesterday in the wind. And you see a pretty darn good card here of Eagle McMahon, Calvin Heimburg, Matt Bell, and Ezra Aderhold. Everybody able to manage yesterday's tough track to the tune of 4 down, just 1 back of the lead.
Yeah, and a couple other players right there at 3 down, so wide open for lots of players to make a move today.
Definitely. Eagle McMahon, sponsored by Discmania. He's going to be putting with those Rainmakers, and then you see a variety of MDs in the bag. I expect to see Cloud Breakers and PD2s for his big distance shots.
And Calvin Heimburg on the card again. Going to see some Rhinos for the approach shots, also Toros, and then I think we'll see a lot of Eagle, Firebird, and Destroyer from him. Maybe a brand new Juggernaut.
Matt Bell, sponsored by EV7. You see he's putting there with the Penrose. And he's also sponsored by ThoughtSpace Athletics. Allowed to throw a little bit of an open bag, but those are his primary sponsors.
And Ezra Aderhold doesn't care too much for the mid-ranges. Just goes for challengers and zones. We'll see some Raptors, Captain Raptors, and probably some nukes for those big long shots today.
And hole 1, 462 feet, playing a little bit downhill. Blind shot off the tee. You have to go left to the Mando, but then there's out of bounds to the left with the cart path and right at the wood line. Still playing with a little bit of a left to right tailwind, but not nearly as severe as yesterday. Much more predictable. We know Eagle McMahon was not throwing forehands hardly at all last year due to an ongoing injury. So he's still reliant on that backhand for everything except some touchy shots.
And this is a touchy backhand shot. Has a little bit too much turn on this, but with the slow enough disc. Oh, it did not sit down. Did end up caught rolling out of bounds.
We saw Calvin go with the forehand yesterday, just trusting the stability. Today, gonna attack a little bit more, going backhand mid.
Yeah, with the wind down, it does make this hole feel more attackable. I'm interested to see whether that gets people in trouble or not. Did get Eagle in a bit of trouble.
Sponsored by ThoughtSpace Athletics and OTB, Matt Bell.
I think the highlight of Matt's day in round 1 was that he was 100% from C1X as well as 100% from Circle 2. He's certainly known for his putting, but no misses in that wind is a pretty good achievement.
Definitely so. Any time you can say 100% in both, you're feeling pretty good about it. He goes with just kind of a pitch around forehand looking for the par.
And rounding out your chase card, sponsored by Discraft, Ezra Aderhold.
Ezra does have a big forehand, so could be pushing to reach it, but also maybe looking for that 80-footer, just see if he can get a long birdie look.
This looks like the pretty aggressive shot, but even that gonna lead to a layup.
Thank you all. Good luck. See you tomorrow.
Bell, the hyzer forehand, just outside the bullseye. That should be pretty easy work to clean up a 3. And odds are 3 still gaining you strokes on the field, despite the pretty calm conditions. A lot of these guys noted to me that they felt like it was a different course and they prepared accordingly. Not trying to take too much lessons from round one that seriously.
Right. Just the drastic change in the wind does make it feel like a different course, I could imagine. This hole, though, does still play as the hardest par 3 on the course. Averaging a 3.24. Only 10 birdies on the day, even with the wind down.
And I think we saw 6 or 7 yesterday. Just a testament to like the hole itself being challenging. And this front 9 overall was considerably harder than the back yesterday, just due to some of the par 3s playing in the upper 400s with a lot of danger around them.
Yeah, and today those par 3s could be more attackable with the lower wind. However, all that danger is still there, so still have to be on point. It's going to be a fun round to watch. Now that we've got past hole 1 with 1 bogey, 3 pars, we move into hole 2, which is the second easiest par 4 on the course today. 690 feet. Land here for your Stockheiser shot, and then you have another pretty much same shot into the green here, 330 or 340 and 340. You are going to see some players push longer than that, maybe to that 450 range, where it's a little tighter, but with the power these guys have, it fades right to it.
Calvin had gone out of bounds on a very similar line yesterday, but today measures it perfectly. That should leave Rhino, AVR X3, something like that, into the green. Something I want to watch here is that Matt is very disciplined about playing his own game. He's certainly got power, but he doesn't have the power that the rest of the card does. Therefore, he's going to have to choose a little more wisely rather than overpowering some shots.
Yeah, and he didn't quite get enough stand-up on that shot. Is going to find inbounds, but get most of the distance out of it. Ezra going to be in a great spot as well. Not too far off a Calvin shot.
Eagle, this looks like a mid-range. Just trying to swing it out to the right. And pretty easy work. That'll leave him a hyzer into the green.
Goes with a steep hyzer, getting the big skip. Going to be inside circle 1. Or excuse me, going to be just outside of circle 1 now. Looking to bounce back from that bogey on hole 1.
Matt, good width out to the right. You're kind of using this branch as your guidepost because some spots you can only see the flag or some of the trees around it. This looks like a Zone OS from Aderhold.
Have you thrown one of those yet?
Yes, they don't go anywhere. I'm impressed that he's using that to go, even 250 or so.
Yeah, on this 690-foot par 4, as Calvin just absolutely pins it. Something that you really need to do on this hole today, especially as 70% of the field able to card the birdie. Not eagle on this round, though.
Little work on the comebacker. That putt seemed unusually floaty to me. Eagle's usually pretty direct with his putts. Don't know if that means anything, but something I see. Bell getting comfortable. Matt's such a creative putter. A lot of people drill their putts as like trying to do the same thing over and over, and he specifically says every putt is unique and tries to give it the attention it deserves. Hole 3, you've got a double mando off the tee, and then you're going to be pushing up over a couple little knolls, out of bounds to the right, and the basket is perched on the left side of a mound. With a slight right to left wind, you can play a hyzer, you can play a skip shot, but whatever you do, it's going to be pretty critical not to push too far left or hold the disc too straight. And there is out of bounds left if you go far enough. I haven't seen anybody test it to this point. Looks like Heimburg does drop inbounds though.
Yeah, this hole on the much easier side today as well. Being able to just really use your disc to get to the basket rather than having to read the wind. Make sure it doesn't pick up too much or get packed down into the ground.
Bell swinging it straight, and that's going to come up near circle's edge. For whatever, we noted it yesterday that a lot of the greens, but also a lot of the fairways and other parts of this course don't skip the way we've seen many other golf courses.
Yeah, you do still get some skip, but it's kind of a checked up skip. As Eagle catches one of those guardian trees there, that's going to be a long look, along with Calvin, who's just pitching up for his par. This definitely looks to be one of those floaty bids. Going to be a lot to do with ground play here, though. You see how he matched that angle to where if he didn't make it, it landed the same as the ground, making it not roll away. Hey.
Like Matt playing to his audience there a little bit. A make is a make is a make.
No pictures, only video.
What's up, guys? Eagle here. Thank you for watching Gatekeeper Media, and I just want to send you over to my socials. Go check out my YouTube, Eagles Vlogs. Go check out me on Instagram, Eagle_WMCM. Discmania, we got some cool stuff coming out. Sweets Kendamas, got some grip bags left, and I just want to thank all of you for the amazing support. Keep on dreaming.
Why disc golf?
It's the people.
It's fun.
It's the lucky shots.
It's the feeling.
So come out.
Grab a disc.
Or two, and let it fly with Lone Star Disc.
Moving into hole 4, the lone par 5 on the course this weekend. Got about 390 feet before you get to that ball golf green, and about 415, 420 feet to carry over it. If you can carry to the left, you're going to be in the sweet spot to be able to get your second shot to where you can see this gap, hopefully close to the woods so you don't have too far before you hit the gap. But a very difficult par 5.
Having the distance to get clear of this green is key, as Aderhold puts himself in position to throw another hyzer up towards the gap. And I'll note there is out of bounds everywhere around the landing zone, as well as the right side as you're throwing the second shot. This looks like it has green written all over it.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah, you have to carry 300 feet before you are, or to get over an OB Creek that's there as well. So I'm not going to see anybody here laying up short of that.
Heimburg with a full rip, and he does have the speed to just get off the green. Opens up his angle very nicely. Eagle with more of a hyzer flip to stand up and ride. That carries the green.
Man,
and wow.
what a fun shot to watch there. I love those hyzer flip stand-up shots or hyzer flip to turn over. Any hyzer flips, just kind of, that's my jam.
Bell gonna swing around the corner. And could be kind of a difficult approach from there. He'll have to choose whether to go over or throw some kind of skip shot through the gap. Heimburg back to that very overstable destroyer.
And gonna be pretty pinched off there. Didn't quite get far enough and is pretty close to the woods. Might just kind of be pitching into that gap now.
Eagle with a very nice distance shot, but that's going to leave him long of the gap. Hard to say what's over there because I can't access that in 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure we've seen anybody over that far yet. In a similar situation to Calvin, though, just on the other side.
Yeah, this hole is pretty demanding on the second shot to make for as much open space as there is, requiring you to get to the mouth of the tunnel, but not too far right or left. Bell does try to play that over the top shot.
Yeah. Almost pin high. Sneaks in there pretty good. Should have an opportunity to get up and down if he doesn't have a look. But like you were saying earlier, Matt Bell's pretty tricky on those putting greens.
Difficult to manage the nose angle there. Heimburg needed to give that height and to let the disc kind of work. And just a little forewarning here. Eagle's going to throw a grenade, and if you're squeamish, you may want to skip a little bit ahead. As unfortunately, that is going to hit Catch Cam Dave pretty squarely. The report right now. The report right now is that Dave is he's doing well. He got a few stitches. He's going to be off duty tomorrow, but we look forward to a speedy recovery for him. Give him a follow on his channel, Heiser Media. The link will be in the comments.
Yeah, very scary moment there for Dave. For the card, for Eagle, really, you know, that wasn't intentional, but he was pretty tore up about it, and that's quite understandable. That's a very dangerous situation.
Yeah. Totally an accident. There was about a 30-minute break as medics were were brought to get Dave off, and like I said, we look forward to a speedy recovery for Dave.
And Ezra almost got a birdie there. I think he just hit the band for birdie. That would have been for a turkey.
Eagle unable to make the comeback. He'll have a drop-in 5. And this is Heimburg after a little bit of errant scrambling and the 4th shot catching the high branches again. Wow.
Yeah, nice scramble to get the par. A lot more birdies on this hole today. 28 players able to get it. Not having that left to right off of the tee and that strong headwind for that second shot. Allowing players to get to this gap a little more regularly today.
Yeah, it's not an unfair gap if you're able to access it. And looking like a couple other 5s to be dropped in. Hole 5 at 482 feet. We are definitely out in the open. The main feature on this hole are a couple of bunkers and then an out-of-bounds green just fronting the basket. The wood line behind also out of bounds. So the common plays are either full rip and try to clear the green, or a layup to the left or right side. This doesn't look like any kind of layup, but it could be testing the bunker on the right.
Comes up just shy of it. Finding that zone I said yesterday I didn't think we'd see many players hit. That's the third one I think we've seen now.
Yeah, if anything, I'd like that to be the camera's curse or something, that we document improbable events, not bad ones.
Yeah, hitting the small landing zones. Calvin going with more of a flex shot there. Ends up a bit to the left side, but just over the green.
And Eagle able to match it. Oh no! The ease of his power sometimes fools me. I was pretty sure that was going to clear the green, no trouble at all. Bell looks like he's going to play the layup shot. And
we finally got somebody. Yeah, we finally got somebody on our card that's gonna lay this hole up, which is what I would have to do just about every time, and plays it just about perfectly. It looks like gonna have the easy 3.
Good nose up run by Aderhold. Nathan, how do you manage nose angle when putting to an elevated basket?
The flatter entry, the better. It's hard to do because you are going up, but a nose angle or a nose up angle on the chains makes it a little bit harder for it to catch, really. So I like personally to go higher and have the disc coming back down into it.
Mm-hmm.
But difficult to do with the spin putt, so I'm not quite sure what the best way to do that with the spin putt is.
Yeah, and then from distance, like Aderhold, seemed like he was willing to throw it slow and high with the nose up to prevent it sailing too far. Saw a good par save from Eagle after the out of bounds shot. He's still kind of scuffling here, 1 over through 5 holes.
Yeah, and with 2 par 3s, this is the second par 3 here on the front that averages over par at a 3.18. Still only 13 birdies today. Speaking of difficult par 3s to birdie, we are now at hole 6, 316 feet. Straight to the left, but there's a bunch of trees in the way that prevent you from throwing it straight to the left. If there's a right to left wind, then this hole becomes fairly birdieable. Without a right to left wind, circle 2 putts, might get one in circle 1 every once in a while.
Everyone's going to probably throw a big backhand hyzer. If you hug the tree line, it could be possible to get a birdie look. Otherwise, as noted, you're probably thinking circle 2. This one looks pretty good to me. Seemed to be a touch more inside than Aderhold's. And the crowd's clapping reflects that.
Yeah, look at this angle that Eagle is trying to figure out. He put it on about an 80-degree hyzer and then turned the nose up 25, 30 degrees. Just not something you see somebody lining up too often.
We are on the Harvey Penick disc golf campus. Harvey Penick, a legendary golf teacher. Pretty neat to see players have to execute shots that are a little unusual. That feels a little appropriate.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching this course so far. Lots of different styles of shots. Not just wide open, rip it to a big area. Got to kind of place it in a small area on a lot of these shots.
Yeah, and a lot of golf courses really do favor big arms. But you see Matt getting up here on the chase card after one round. He said he didn't feel like distance was a huge factor. It was more about like making smart risks.
Yeah, Calvin. Big putt on hole 6. Moves him to 2 under now. Clean round.
Yeah, and a couple good circle 2 putts. If he gets going with that and the back 9 more attackable, watch out, world. Here comes Vinny.
Yeah, one of just 9 players with a birdie on hole 6 today.
Thanks everyone for watching. As always, thank you to my sponsors, Millennium, Innova, Squatch, and Flight Factory. Look out for the new Quantum and Helio Vila, and then also be on the lookout for my new signature Squatch bag this spring.
This looks perfect. Off the basket. Now it's rolling. It's headed for the OB. This needs to sit. Oh my goodness, it's safe. Right on the line. She's gonna have about a 30-foot putt for the win. Okay, here we go. The putt is up. Boom, it's in. Strong side with authority. What an incredible moment. Yes.
Hole 7. In my opinion, this is a Mando forehando. The basket is going to be astonishingly far right relative to what you can see off the tee. Signature feature here are 5 sand traps that front a golf green, and all of those play as out of bounds. We saw Simon be able to throw the backhand yesterday. Eagle may do the same, but I expect at least 3 forehands from this group.
Yeah, I think if you're able to throw the backhand, it's really that mid-range, if you have mid-range power to go 380, 400 feet. Otherwise, it's kind of fading into those bunkers or turning over too quickly with the angles that you have to use.
Definitely, and not the same intensity as yesterday, but still a slight headwind, and that seems to have grabbed Ezra's shot. He will be safe, but 80 to 100 away. Eagle does use that backhand mid-range, as noted. Looks like a pretty darn good shot, but he had to use the entire width of that left side to drift it all the way.
Yeah, that looks like the most effort that he's put into a tee shot that I've seen so far today.
Bell going hyzer release. And that's on the dance floor, but probably not much of a birdie look.
Yeah, difficult to reach this one. You saw Ezra stand his up straight, you end way up out here, but hard to get that much power on a full hyzer forehand.
And as sawed off as Vinny's look was, he's still inside circle 2. Nearly continues his good work of long putts, but has to settle for the 3. And doggone Eagle, backhand mid, headwind, 382, weird shape.
Yeah, right on it. Finally gets back to even after that bogey that he started off with. So about kind of what you expect to see on this hole, maybe, but usually with the forehand for the birdie. Moving into hole 8, easiest par 3 on the course. Have to get the birdie. This is your give me birdie. Your give me par 3. 330 foot straight. Read the wind. And land inside the circle.
Something we saw last week out of Eagle is a little bit of difficulty kind of slowing down in the woods for gap shots. At 330, that may put him kind of between a putter and a mid. Not quite able to draw it over enough. Heimburg playing a turnover shot. And nothing wrong with that.
No, and the gallery loves it. Ezra going with the forehand, which I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more of. From what I've watched, it seems like there's kind of been a right to left wind here that's caused a few players to just kind of skip away with their shots.
Definitely using the flex stability to kind of handle the wind and then prevent the wild flare on the end. But Aderhold can't quite get it left of the basket. Bell finds a tree and will drop down in circle 2.
Yeah, I was looking forward to watching that flight finish. It looked like he had it on a pretty good line. Let's see if he can get those circle 2 stats going here.
Oh, man.
Didn't miss by much.
Ezra's forehand did get the distance, and he's able to convert on the putt. Nicely done. Pushes him to 3 down.
Yeah, also keeping it clean.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that's clean for the entire tournament to this point for Ezra.
Yeah, I believe you're right. That's a fun feeling. Have you completed a tournament bogey-free?
Have I? I think so, but one of my goals was bogey-free at Austin, and I took a 5 on hole 1 of round 1. Whoopsie. Hole 9, you've got a gap shot. There's woods on the entire left side and a mandatory tree to the right. Plenty of open space to the right side thereafter, but at 462, and not a whole lot of wind to speak of on this, it could be a birdie opportunity, but you're having to make a lot of angles work with the low ceiling. Heimburg, very efficient distance rip. Pushes out towards circle 1.
And gets a good slide, too, kind of showing what you meant by having to use a lot of angles to make that shot work. He gets it to drift over, but then it still has to be coming out at the end to get that slide on the ground. Uh-oh. And that has missed the Mando. He will be moving straight to the drop zone, bogey at best.
Eagle once again throwing a pretty hard shot. And good pace on it, able to get that slide towards a putt.
It's incredible how hard he throws.
Looks like Bell going salt here. That does make the mandatory. And whereas the other guys were reliant on still having speed at the ground, Bell does almost all of that work in the air.
Oh, Matt Bell is one of my favorite players to watch. Very unique form, but uses so many different angles and can control the disc so well. Definitely fun to watch on a wooded track.
Eagle. That'll get him going. Slow, floaty spin putt to tuck the right side. See the other side of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier how he's kind of got a slower putt. We usually wouldn't see his disc fade at the end, but slow enough to fade there gets him under par for the first time on the front 9. Calvin Heimburg, back to back.
This will be Ezra for 4. You see that little turf square on the back, or on the left side of the screen? There's also foot golf in addition to the ball golf course here. So 3-in-1 course right now. And Nathan, it's astonishing that we are 1 putt away from seeing 3 birdies on hole 9.
And there it is, Matt Bell. 1 down with a birdie on hole 9. Under 20 players getting the birdie on this hole.
You see everybody in pretty good shape, still remaining in the top 13. It is a very tightly packed field. So halfway done with this tournament. You see Vino Macula and Gannon Burr out to 10 down overall in the lead, but a very scoreable back 9 to come. Again, we encourage you to follow Heiser Media in support of Dave, our catch cam operator. Nathan, thanks so much for joining me on commentary, and we thank everyone for watching.
Yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Come back for the back nine out here at Harvey Penick Disc Golf Course. We will see you guys out there.